What is up guys, my name's Zach and welcome to the Chaos Galaxy. And today in this video I'm going to be giving you my top 5 tips on how to improve the artwork for your trading card game, comic book or any kind of small illustration work that you're doing. And the main thing about this video is that you can instantly do these 5 things. You don't have to spend ages becoming a better drawer. These are things that you can instantly do right now to improve the artwork for your game. Before I get into the video, leave a like if you enjoy the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the channel and the Chaos Galaxy trading card game, you can buy booster packs. Set 1 and set 2 are available now. There'll be links in the description. And if you want to get your hands on some cards, I'd really appreciate you supporting the channel. So I'll get straight into my top 5 tips on how to instantly improve your trading card artwork. So step 1, and possibly the most important step, is hand draw your trading cards. I am a big fan of hand drawn artworks as opposed to computer made artwork. And although I am slightly biased, I do have evidence to back up this point. And if you look across YouTube, it's an ongoing trend that all the biggest homemade trading card games and comic books on YouTube are done by hand. And I don't think this is a coincidence. If you look at, say, my channel, for example, Scribbles with Rachel's also one of the biggest, Brad Draws, Wrath of Cause, Flynn's Art, Soapss, all these channels hand draw their cards. And the reason why I think drawing by hand is the best way to go about making trading cards is because drawing by hand is the most natural way to do artwork. And when you're making trading card games, you're going to be drawing all natural things. You're going to be drawing people, you're going to be drawing creatures or monsters, you're going to be drawing environments, you're going to be drawing handcrafted items, you're going to be drawing trees and things. So because these things are all natural, they have slight imperfections in them and nothing looks perfect, which adds charm and character and depth to your artwork. I'll show you an example. Now, in front of me I have the planet card Chaos, and although this drawing has been done using very flat colour, there's not much shading, and it's obviously not a photorealistic drawing of a planet, because that'd just be stupid, but it does look quite natural. And what I mean by this is I've made a few mistakes, and it's okay to use a computer, I think, to erase these mistakes. As you can see here where the pen's dried funny, I can just kind of get rid of that. And it's fine to edit out these mistakes, I think. These are just kind of the big obvious ones here, some of the colours bled. But this, apart from that, this is a completely hand-drawn piece of artwork. Sort of looks perfect, but it's really not. If you look into this colour here, as you can see, the shading is quite uneven. And even in the flat colour here, this blue, there's little kind of specks of white, specks of darker blue, and that just makes it look all the more natural. And I'll show you why I don't like computer drawings. If I edit this drawing just quickly and make it virtually completely done on a computer, I guarantee it won't look as good. I've made the snow perfectly white here. If we make the clouds perfectly grey, whereas at the time drawing these cards I only had a sort of warm grey to hand, which actually came out looking really nice in my opinion. And again, I didn't have a perfectly brown colour to draw this land here, but I think it came out looking like more natural earth, whereas if I'd have been using a computer, I would have gone, okay, well, a perfect brown would have been the perfect thing to use here. Okay, so here we have a computer perfect planet Chaos. It's not even perfect actually. If it was computer perfect, all my line drawings would be perfect too. The planet sphere would be a perfect circle, which obviously, naturally, nothing is a perfect circle. My hand-drawn kind of mistakes are making this less computery than it should be. But this, in my opinion, this drawing looks extremely flat and has no character in it whatsoever. It doesn't look like anything lives on this planet. Whereas this one here, with all its little quirks and mistakes that I've accidentally made, but I think this one looks a lot more exciting and a lot more natural and a lot more just attractive and easy to look at. And that's the point I'm really trying to make here. And if you already hand make your cards, and this tip doesn't really apply to you, then I guess what I'm trying to say is just embrace your mistakes. No one's drawings are perfect, but that's okay because nothing's perfect. So there, point number 1. My second step, which is something that also can't really be done on a computer, is have your own unique drawing style and make it different to every other TCG. What I mean by a drawing style is like anime or Renaissance art. If someone actually made a TCG with a Renaissance art style, I'd be very impressed. But create your own style. Don't just do an anime based card game because it's already been done before, and no matter how good at art you are, you're never going to make an anime-based card game that's as good as Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon. It just can't be done by one person. So if you break away from that mold and give some kind of unique style to your game, that's what people are going to like about it and think, hey, this is different to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, I'm going to take interest in this. My art style, for example, is kind of thick black outlines with bright bold bits of colour in between and not that much shading. And this is just how I've kind of developed my drawings over the years. I haven't chosen to do this on purpose, it's just my natural style. Obviously choose a style you enjoy. If you don't like the way you're drawing, then just change it, it's up to you. But I think the main thing for a trading card game is make it simple. Because the images in trading cards are so small, that's what, a couple of inches by a couple of inches, don't make things complicated for yourself. And if you're making 100 cards in a trading card game, you don't want each artwork to take you 2 hours, otherwise you'd get bored and stop making it within a couple of weeks. Okay, so step 3, and this one is a bonus one because actually the worse at drawing you are, the better you'll be at this step. And this tip is don't use too much detail in your cards. I'll give you an example here. So I've got 2 boss monsters here from my game. Both of them are kind of equally powerful. And one of them is very, very detailed. I've done lots of shading going on. The background's got quite a bit of detail in. His kind of body positionings is from sort of a sideways perspective. And this other one is more of a kind of flat drawing. It only uses 3 or 4 different colours and it's from a 2-dimensional view. And the card I prefer and the card that stands out more is Orbade Commander here, the one that's less detailed and took me half the time to draw. And this is because when you've got a trading card game, the images on these trading cards are only like a couple of inches by a couple of inches, so the more detail you kind of cram into them, most of it will just get lost in the card because your eye simply can't pick up all the tiny details. If it was like a 50-foot poster or something, Uram King of the Night Jungle would probably look quite a bit better. But not having too much detail in your cards is definitely a good thing. If you look at the card game WoC TCG made by Scribbles with Rachel, just got an image up here, you can see that her characters, again, they have this unique art style, and the faces of all these characters just have those 2 big eyes and very little of the details on them. Whereas a manga trading card game, you know, it'll have all sorts of shading in the hair, kind of 3 different colours in their eyes. And although it looks cool, it's not as eye-catching on a 2 by 3 inch trading card. And even, you know, if you're looking to make a YouTube channel for your trading card game, YouTube thumbnails are only a couple of inches by a couple of inches, and if you see this character on a YouTube thumbnail, if this was a YouTube thumbnail, this character would catch your eye straight away. Whereas if your kind of YouTube thumbnail is very detailed, if you have kind of a picture like this with loads of cards showing, I feel like people would more often than not just scroll straight past it because there's too much going on and nothing to catch their eye. So you can kind of follow these rules through in a lot of different artistic things that you do. Step 4 is a kind of similar one with not too much detail, and this step is about your choice of colour. You need a contrast in colour in your cards to make them look attractive, and a contrast, I mean you need some lights, you need some darks, and then something kind of in between to tie it all together. For example, if we take these 2 cards again, sorry I keep ripping into Uram here. When I made this card I thought, right, I've got to make the boss monster for a really cool archetype that I enjoy. I'm going to make it as colourful and as bright as possible, and there's too many colours that are kind of the same brightness and don't stand out from each other. So you've got kind of the red on his body here, which looks very similar to the brown that's on his armour, and then the brown kind of looks a bit like the green, which doesn't blend into the blue very well, and then the green background anyway doesn't help. So your eyes kind of get a bit lost in the artwork here. And the way I like to use colour is you have a rule of 3. In every artwork, the best thing to do, I feel, is use 1 light colour, 1 dark colour, and then a kind of in-between colour that kind of subtly merges the other 2 together. So I'll show you easily by Orbade Commander. As you can see, he's got this red and blue armour, and although these red and blue parts of armour are quite similar colours in terms of brightness, they're both very dark colours, but then you have this yellow of his body, which kind of breaks the whole thing up and makes the artwork very striking. And this, I'll show you, there are loads of examples of cards that I think are successful and cards that aren't successful. 2 more similar cards would be Treasure Swamp and the Sacred Reef. Now, on one hand, if you look at Treasure Swamp, it's got this very sort of dark blue murky water, which then leads onto this very dark green land, and you can't really tell where the water and the land meets. And then even in the water, I've tried to put in lots of detail. You've got some very dark brown trees, some dark grey rocks here, and you can't really see the difference in a lot of the things, so it's not very eye-catching. Whereas if you take the Sacred Reef, which is a similar looking card, they're both kind of environments based in water with rocks and plants and things. However, this one, you have the dark grey rock, which is then contrasted by the light blue water behind it, and then on top of that you've got these sort of slight bursts of light colour in the kind of pieces of coral that are on the reef, and it just really stands out comparing the two together. And then the last one is Zeta Ray Mantelossus. You've got the light blue watery background, a very dark grey skin with a bright sort of eye-catching red pattern on it, and I think these are some very successful artworks in my opinion. And another thing to make your life a lot easier is that if a character is the main focus on your card, like Zeta Ray Mantelossus here, have the character as the main focus of the card. Don't put too much effort into the background of the card. I spend no time at all on the backgrounds of my cards, and it makes no difference. I save a lot of time, which means I can put more time into thinking about the colour and the patterns I've used on the character, and then just put this sort of slight flush of kind of light blue in the background, just to make the character pop out a bit more. And the final tip, and this one really doesn't take any skill at all, it just takes a bit more time and effort put into your drawings to make them that much better, and that is planning your drawings before you do them. If you take a look at Humongous Ancient Rockman here, as you can tell the card is quite confidently drawn, as in there's lots of sort of flat, jagged, straight lines, but nothing's really gone wrong on the artwork, even though he's not exactly symmetrical. But I'm sure you'll all agree that in any skill, especially drawing, practice is what makes perfect, and if you practice drawing the exact same thing a few times, your ability to draw that exact thing will just become so much better instantly. If you take a look at Humongous Ancient Rockman here, although he looks perfect, no good drawer would get him right on the first time, and this is one of the first things I did when I made the Chaos Galaxy. These are all sorts of plans for Humongous Ancient Rockman. This one here being the final drawing, so by the time I'd drawn all of these, planned out how he was going to look, I could go into drawing the final Humongous Ancient Rockman with full confidence and get it exactly right first time, and then just release the trading cards straight after that. I'll actually get the original drawing for you. So here is the actual Humongous Ancient Rockman that I've hand drawn on my own. And just going back over all the other points I've mentioned in the video. He's not perfect, although he's a kind of man-made being. He's not perfectly symmetrical. His head's slightly tilted, his arms are different widths apart, but this just gives him all the more personality. Although he's a boss monster, he's not got much detail in him at all. He's just kind of made of chunks of rock that don't have any texture or anything. And again, with colour, he's only using the rule of 3. He's got some very cool grey parts, he's got some like warmer grey pieces for his hands and his face, and then he's got the flash of light green in his eyes and in his crotch that just make him pop that much more. And it's kind of the main card in the Chaos Galaxy game, and he just sums up all these points I think I've made today here very well. Also, another thing, before I always go into drawing the actual final card, I will draw it out in pencil and then go over that pencil in my black fine liner pen, which gives me the kind of unique drawing style that my game has. Here's a card I'm working on at the moment. As you can see, the black pen kind of looks to be done very confidently, but if you look underneath, as you can see, there are loads of these scruffy pencil marks which I haven't yet rubbed out and need to go over, just because, like I said before, practice makes perfect, and the more you draw, the more confident you'll be. So the more you draw a specific drawing, the more confident you'll be in that specific drawing, if that makes sense. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you think these tips were helpful. Let me know what you think the most helpful thing about this video was. Let me know if you hated the video. Let me know if you think Uram, King of the Night Jungle is the best looking card in the Chaos Galaxy, and if every trading card game should be anime. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and how I can improve these videos so I can improve your trading card games in future. Apart from that, there'll be links to all the other trading card game and comic book making channels in the description below. They all inspire me to kind of make these videos and make my trading card games. So if you look them up, hopefully they can inspire you too. Apart from that, don't have much else to say, but please like, comment and subscribe. Support the channel by getting your hands on some Chaos Galaxy booster packs. Follow me on Instagram, which is at Chaos Galaxy TCG. And apart from that, got nothing much to say, but good luck in your trading card games, comic books and whatever else you might be working on. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.